Oh wow, what a episode. We love some PKing. Finally, it took us 8 episodes, and now all the best PKers, West Ham and Dino are out, and they're just like straight up pure PKers. But there's still some good ones.
Totally.
So I guess, yeah, what was the challenge similar to Deadman Mode All Stars? Red, do you want to give us a rundown of how
Sure.
it went?
Sure. Yeah. So 10 players left. They split into two teams, red and blue team. 5 players on each team, and uh, just like the All Stars, it was sort of like everyone was in a line and is just choosing, or it's 1v1s, but once one player dies on one team, yeah, once one player dies on one team, then this guy gets to come fight, and then if he takes out, or yeah, this guy comes in and he takes out that guy, then they start taking each other out until one team wins. Woohoo! But
Yes.
yeah, lots of fighting, and definitely some players are better than others. The
Yeah, it's interesting. The mainstay of the fight, Frame, took down Torvesta low key. Apparently, he messed up on the specs a little bit and took down another player. So, pretty sick. He definitely carried that one team. And Bodie, who's a great PKer, didn't even fight, which is wild.
Yeah, he got to cruise this whole episode.
Yeah,
Actually, he
yeah,
didn't do anything this whole episode.
yeah. He just chilled. He just watched.
He literally did nothing. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Um,
definitely framed. He carried. Um, yeah. Oh yeah. So we noticed there's some better PKers than others, and we noticed their inventory setup. And we've been learning PKing recently, Avo and I. Oh, so what did you notice about their setups?
yeah. Red's been doing a little deep dive, and there's like different placements for spells, prayers, where you want to put your equipment, just to maximize the efficiency of like, oh, it's less distance to go from here to here to here to the player. We noticed that there is some of the better PKers. I think Bodhi and Framed
Yeah,
and maybe
Torvesta.
some others.
I think Sea Engineer
Vesta,
too.
Senior, they
Yeah,
have
framed.
their equipment at the top, and we are kind of like middle people. We put it in the middle because it's closer to your protection prayers. Um, but the benefit of putting it at the top is basically when you switch to a two-handed weapon, your items. Look at those balloons. I don't know why that happened, but your items stay where they are and they don't move around, and your inventory gets messed up basically if you put them in the middle. So we're thinking about putting him in the top, or at least I am. I don't know. How do you feel?
Yeah. I'm definitely still a middle guy, so I'm okay with the shield going up high, um, just because of the spec bar. I just like
Yeah.
the spec items at the bottom. But yeah, it was a mix between some of the good players had their stuff at the top, but some of them had them down low. So, but yeah, it's definitely interesting. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, seeing the inventory setup. Yeah, they inspired me, so I think I'm gonna do the
yeah,
top.
do it. I'm excited. Yeah, let's see it.
Yeah,
Um,
let's see. No,
yeah, love it. So the blue team won, which consisted of Foe, Framed, Settled, Bodhi, and Roity. So the red team lost, and now we go on to the banning. But so the winning team, they got to decide amongst themselves who was in the tribunal, and it's sort of a bad thing to be in the tribunal. So the experts of the tribunal, who've been in there pretty much every episode, Bodhi and Settled, wisely chose to not be a part of it.
hmm
Of course, the other three were too excited to go in there. But I mean, one of them wasn't. But yeah, they were.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's like, yeah, let's put somebody in, and it's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done
right.
that.
Yeah. That was funny. Yeah,
Um,
now they definitely will have people trying to focus them. At
mhm.
least the winner of the banning.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, AKA victim. And it was
yeah.
funny because they were like, oh yeah, we want victim in because he won last season, but we're also like, oh, we'll just say we picked a random number generator and you just
Yeah.
happen to be the person.
Right.
And he's like, dude, just put me in, bro.
Totally.
Stop playing games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone previous episode or a few back did the random generator, but they had a soup choose the random number, right? So that was truly random, and that was no bias, because
Yeah, I think that was Bodhi.
that
That
yeah.
was smart
Oh,
on Bodhi
Bodhi
there. And
knew.
he's not in the tribunal.
Oh man, it's a genius. Well
Yeah,
played,
yeah,
Bodhi. Well
yeah.
played.
Bodhi's a good brain because he's like kind of low key, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll just go against the best guy, solo mission, do all this stuff. But then he's also like, oh yeah, like I'm not gonna be in the tribunal. Like he is playing it smart.
Totally. Yeah.
Different strategy.
Yeah. Another guy I think is always playing it smart is Foe. He's
Mhm.
just brilliant stuff, and he made a lot of good decisions. I forget them, but this episode too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so V the Victim gets put in the banning, and he chooses Mr. Mammal because two people of the tribunal were farmers, and supposedly there's this club of farmers that includes Mr. Mammal too. So he wanted some revenge for getting chosen. And
Yeah, and I think he did mention that he felt like Mr. Mammal was the weakest, and he had
Yeah.
the best chance of winning.
that's true. Yeah,
So,
definitely. So yeah, the banning was called Eat or Not to Eat. It's a repeat of a past season banning. Ava, you want to talk about it?
yeah, so basically last time it was toward Vesta and skill specs, and basically you get full Darox, and Darox is an equipment that you put on, and the lower the health you have, the more damage you do. So then they take turns hitting each other, and so there's a strategy of like, oh, if I have low health, I can hit him and just one-shot him, game's over. Or you can eat like a food, it only heals you like 1/5 of your HP bar. And so it's kind of like a strategy of like, oh, do I brew down? Do I stay low so I can kill him? Or do I like play it safe and then eat the food, but then I can't do a lot of damage? And so that was the battle. And yeah, really interesting. Yeah.
Super interesting.
Yeah. So it was kind of crazy because I feel like Mr. Mammal's RNG was better throughout the fight, but then it ended up in the end to be the victim just hit bangers at the very end and just bopped him. And
Right.
and
Yeah.
he won.
So one mental play. So V the Victim convinced Mr. Mammal to eat a food when V the Victim only had 14 HP on the first fight, which everyone thought was a mistake on Mr. Mammal's part for eating instead of having a high chance of killing V the Victim. And it definitely came back to bite him because he ended up losing that and losing the whole thing. So
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Because he only had 14 HP.
Yeah.
And he was sitting on like 60.
yeah, and
so
he
it
had
was like
60.
super
Yeah.
high odds.
The odds of him dying were probably like 20% or something. Pretty low. So
Yeah. And the odds of killing were pretty high.
much
so,
higher.
Yeah.
And
Could have been different.
yeah, and let's say Mr. Mammal hits a 0. V the Victim could eat, and then Mr. Mammal would get to hit again. Or V the Victim could not eat, and he'd hit Mr. Mammal. Likely not kill Mr. Mammal if he did damage. And then Mr. Mammal will get another shot. So it's like you get 2 guaranteed shots, pretty much. So, yeah. But I also love Mr. Mammal. He's he's honestly been getting a lot better at PvP, and in the All-Star DMM All-Star season that Soul Mission put on, Soul Mission the Beast that we love. Yeah, he made some great plays throughout the whole 7 days. He was making some epic PvP plays. So shout out to Mr. Mammal. But yeah, you made the wrong decision here.
Wrong decision. Love him. Wrong decision.
Yeah, wrong
Sometimes,
decision.
like
We're
a
just
kid.
calling it straight.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, be the victim. Very smart guy. Well done. Congratulations.
Yes, yeah. And last season winner, so he put a big target on his back. Everyone's like, we don't want. I mean, it makes sense, we don't want a 2-time winner.
Right.
He's like, I want a 2-time winner, but
Right.
Totally. You hate to hear that. So he's probably gonna be in the banning again in the future
Right. Probably.
if he doesn't win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he won
It all
this.
depends.
Yeah, right. And he won this banning, and he chose. He got the 3 options to choose from for winning, and he chose the sabotage for next episode. So he's and I think that's a good option with when there's less people in it. I think it gets stronger the less people there are. So but 200 mil is nice too. Would you choose the 200 mil or the sabotage?
I think it depends because it's like there's almost strategy in picking the 200 mil. Because at first I was like, there's no way I would always choose like sabotage. But it's similar to what you're saying. Like sabotage
Right.
becomes a little bit more powerful later on, whereas earlier, I feel like you don't want to make enemies, and so one of the best ways is to just take the money.
Yeah.
Not even from like the money perspective. It's like a strategy. Yeah, but yeah, I would do it all for the strategy because 200 mil, that's just like that's just money.
Yeah, that's
Glory is forever.
yeah. Totally agree. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff.
So,
What a fun episode. Thank you, Sue, for
mm-hmm.
putting it on for us. We enjoyed it.
Yes, greatly, and we'll catch you all on the next episode. Thanks for watching.
Sweet. See you guys then.